Hi, I'm Diane, your host of Epic Conversations. And we are back again with David McClure talking on leadership. In the previous episodes, we had talked about vision and vision, all kinds of things. So you want to catch that one. But this one, we're going to talk about direction. Now, David has 170 people in his area. He manages and oversees, so he has a lot of people to give direction to. So thank you, David, for being back here again and telling us all about leadership. So now you're going to tell us about direction, because there's different types of direction. So fill us in. What do we need to know?
Direction to a lot of people sounds like order giving.
Uh-huh.
And it can be. Sometimes you do have to give orders, and that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think, they're just ordering me around. Well, sometimes you have to give orders. Sometimes you have to be specific on what you need done. So last time we talked about vision, vision is casting a vision for the goal that you've set.
Mm-hmm.
Direction is how are you going to get to that goal now?
Mm-hmm.
And because you have to have a plan.
That's right, you do have to have a plan.
The Bible talks so many cases about having a plan. So direction is just a matter of laying out the plan to get to the goal. And I look at it this way, how much direction I give you. So, I'm the manager of one of the two departments, and this department has a goal. You're one of my supervisors. So how much direction I give you is based on three things. One of them is how specific do I need to be on what we need to do or what we don't need to do. But the main two things are how much experience do you have, mm-hmm. and how much trust do I have in you?
That's good. Those two things, how much experience and how much trust.
Exactly. And really, I can't blame you if you don't have the experience. Maybe you're 21 years old, but let's say you're 41 years old. I still can't necessarily blame you for not having the experience.
Especially in today's market where people change careers at 40.
Exactly.
So they could just be starting out.
Exactly. So part of it is, I talked in one of our earlier episodes about Dr. Dean Radke and his Maximum CEO package. And he really talks about coach, teach, train, mentor. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how young I am. If I'm the leader, my job is to coach, teach, train, and mentor you into the leader I need you to be for me. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have to realize. Yes. Everybody I work for who's leading is going to be different. Mm-hmm. So I need to add the qualities into you that I need. Mm-hmm. And so the direction I give is partially based on how much I've coached, teach, trained, mentored you. And if I've done that well and you've received it well, mm-hmm. I can only give, it's up to you at that point in time. But if I've done it well and you've received it well, the amount of direction I give you will lessen. Mm-hmm. Because I want you to create. I want you to be engaged to the point that, this goal that they've set, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. I want you to get to where you make it your own. I just have to get to the place that I've given you enough of me so you can understand what I like, what I don't like, mm-hmm. to create something to where you get excited about that.
So and the employee gets to create by using their God-given talents.
Exactly.
And God-given gifts.
Mm-hmm. So, my boss, I talk about age. Here I am, I'm going to be 59 in a month. And my boss is, I don't know how old he is, maybe 30, 35 years of age. Mm-hmm. And, early on, we clashed a couple times to where we sat down and I got to understand what he needed. He coached, teach, trained, mentored me on what he needed. Mm-hmm. And I got to share, is that good English? I got to share with him where I was coming from. And so we found a place of agreement to where I started giving him what he needed, to where he developed more trust in me to where I could make something my own, which may be totally different than what he would have done.
Or how he would have done it.
Or how he would have done it, but it worked. And so out of that,
That's good.
he uses this phrase, I want to get to the place that all the people who report to me and his current team that I'm on are in that place that he can give us the goal, he can give us the project, and he doesn't tell us to go do this, and go do this means, okay, I need you to do this first, I need you to do this second, no, he tells us to go do that. He tells us the goal, and he tells us to go do that, which is bring the goal to pass.
Yeah.
And that's what we all want, isn't it? You know, it's almost like we're our own boss, we're our own company, because we got to go do that. And people want to bypass the learning. They want to bypass gaining the experience and just go do that. And that can be messy sometimes.
Oh, yeah. You know what it reminds me of when I'm listening to you talk about that and the steps and then the trust and then not the steps and just give the goal, is I think about a sports game. I'm not really a sports fan, but I can think about baseball. That was kind of easy. And that they all have the same goal. They want to win.
Right.
And then there's specific plays, you know, that they need to do. So, and each person has their own responsibility.
Exactly.
But they also have their own role. But yet they work together as a team. So the first baseman doesn't have the same skills as the pitcher or the catcher, and then the outfielder, you know, and all that. So when you're building your team and you're, you know, given direction, in some cases you might have to give the signals to, but in other cases they know what their giftings are. If they're the shortstop, or if they're the outfielder, or if they're the first second, they know what they're supposed to do in their giftings, their talents, and then together you win. You
do. And as you were talking, the other thing I thought of to add to that is the fact that, if to accomplish a goal, you know, it takes you and your team, but it takes Leslie and her team and John and their team to accomplish the goal, then as a leader, I do have to give specific direction. And I don't tell you how to do what I need you to do per se, if you've got the experience and you've earned my trust. But I need to share, okay, Diane, I need your team to bring this. And I'm going to need Leslie's team. I tell Leslie, I need your team to bring this and John's team to bring this. So all those three things together will fit together when they get there. If not, it's like building a bridge across the water and you start on your side and Leslie starts on her side. And, you know, suddenly she's here and you're here. It's like, ladies, how did this happen?
That's good. That's very good, David.
So direction is not a bad thing, but I have a responsibility as a leader to give you enough direction so it gets accomplished.
Yes.
And your responsibility is to create it the way you think works best, with a little bit of Diane in it, and Leslie with a little bit of Leslie's in it, John with a little bit, so they come together and there's a uniqueness there, but it works. And it's what I needed accomplished.
Yes, I like that. And speaking of your lovely wife, Leslie, she designed this set, by the way, for those of you who are viewing. We got to give her credit.
That's right. If you need design, she is awesome.
Oh, yeah, she's a good decorator, too. So thank you, David.
My pleasure.
We'll continue more on these topics.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. So we look forward to seeing you next time. We have more episodes with David coming up on leadership. And if you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend. In the meantime, have an epic day in the Lord.